Hi everyone, just waiting on a few persons to come on and then I'll start talking. This is a little bit out of my comfort zone. I'm used to doing lives in the garden, so it's gonna be a new twist. There's a Facebook channel that I have going for a while, but I wasn't using it, so now I'm gonna be using it. So we're gonna be talking about things that affects us. We'll be talking about health issues, gardening stuff when it's gardening time, marriage, just about any and everything. So yeah. All right, so I think I'm gonna start. I have two persons on. Thank you for joining, and I know other persons will see the video eventually. So as the caption said before in the alert to the live before, I started 2025 with some new diagnosis. Some stuff was going on with me and my youngest, and we had to go through some hoops and some circus jumps and all of that to get some tests done to find out what's going on. So we did. Her results came in the end of December, somewhere there, and my results came in about the same time, but it was made official in January. So between the end of December to early January, those diagnoses was confirmed. It was life-changing, to say the least, to get those diagnoses. It's rare. Maybe about 1% in the entire world probably would have it. And many times it's misdiagnosed, or persons are not taken seriously. And some persons don't even know what's affecting them when it starts affecting them, right? So for us, we didn't know, but I was diagnosed with what they said was epilepsy when I was 13. But I recall having all of these discomforts and twisting and pain and muscle spasms and contractions and all of that stuff when I was maybe 4. I remember I was in basic school, and I remember having these weird feelings where I have no control over my body. I'm twisting and I'm flailing, and I can't speak. So I'm bumping into stuff, and as time goes by and the years go by, it got worse, where I was like thrown in front of a car going home from school, high school, St. Mary's College one day, and that was where people started realizing that something was wrong, something was weird. I used to do a lot of things, and I was very good at, I could run, jump, I do a lot of stuff, but I could not get involved with a lot of activities in high school because this condition prevented me. And I had to hide. Many times I had these episodes, medical episodes, I would hide because nobody understood what was going on. I was kicked out of classes in high school in St. Mary's College. I was given detention. I was trying to explain to the teachers, but nobody wanted to listen to what was going on with me. So this is the thing, guys, for those who are teachers and those who have kids, if they say something is wrong and they can't explain, or sometimes they'll hide, check in on them, right? And listen to them, because sometimes there are things going on that they can't explain. So I suffered with this medical condition for years, and it really altered my life. I didn't learn to swim. I didn't learn to ride a bike. I didn't get to do a lot of stuff. I was not able to be involved in a lot of stuff because it impeded me greatly. Things that I would express interest in, as soon as I started doing stuff, like probably express my interest to do a long jump in school, in high school for sports day, as soon as I'm in practice, then I'll get an episode, because any form of stress, any form of excitement, so simple things as waiting to cross the street. As soon as I'm ready to cross the street, the light turns green, or you're standing one place and you know you're to move, I'm getting an episode right there. And I had to be trying to disguise it so many persons would know what's happening when it was really serious. I remember in high school, there's one bus that used to run through the community, New Star. And I would try to catch the bus if I'm running late for school, for high school. And I'd hear the horn being tooted for the bus all the way in a community called Salisbury Plain. And I live in Parks Road. For most of that time, I've lived many areas throughout Parks Road. So many persons on here would know me. I remember running to catch the bus, and anytime I'm gonna run to catch the bus, it sparks a different reaction from the brain, because it's an abnormality, it's a disease of the brain, right? Where this condition, for some persons, they probably outgrow it, but some persons it's incurable, such as mine. It can't be cured. Medication can control it to a point, but if there's too much stress, it won't be controlled. So this condition that I'm talking about, I'm gonna give you one part of this 3-part condition. Well, I'm gonna tell you what the 3 parts of the condition is, because you may not be able to call the name. All right. So one part of the condition is dystonia. So that's the one that causes the movement disorders, muscle spasm, jerking, flailing. There are different types. Some persons have dystonia that only affects 1 or 2 parts of the body. Some persons have, so either focal dystonia, so that's 1 part of the body. Then there's cervical dystonia that affects specific, like the neck or different, well, I think there are 3 parts, 3 different types of dystonia, but I have the generalized one. Myself and Madison, my youngest. So we have the generalized one that affects the entire body. So speech, every part of the body is affected, and it is life altering. It causes a lot of stress. It affects the part of the brain that works with the memory. I also have dystonia as one of that. Dystonia is one condition, one part of it. Epilepsy is one part of it, and what's the other part? Migraine, paralytic migraine. So when you're having a migraine, you can be paralyzed while you're having it. So it's really severe. I had some bout of those migraines in my latter years of my teenage life to in my 20s. A little bit into my 30s, not much of it. So thank God I've not had those kind of migraines anymore. Hopefully I won't have them. And then there's the epilepsy with this one. So we know what epilepsy is. Some persons in Jamaica refer to it as fits. And then there's the dystonia. Also, I also have a separate diagnosis of epilepsy besides this one. So those 3 conditions, those 3 things are part of one condition called dyskinesia. So it's a paroxysmal ketogenic dyskinesia. I inherited this condition from the family genes. My daughter got it, and that's how I found out that she got it from me. And that's how I was able to identify what's happening with her. And that's how we had to go all over the country. Luckily, we're in Canada, so if you're not getting help one place, you have the chance to move to somewhere or go other place to get help. And that's how we got here, to get the help. To see that my child got this life-altering condition from me, it was heartbreaking. I broke down. I was able to recognize it before the diagnosis, but to get the diagnosis confirmed that she inherited from the mother, it was rough. So I'm gonna cut this part of it short. Summary of it: the genetic testing was between Canada and all the way into Finland. So different areas, different countries were involved. It was extensive. The tests usually take 3 to 4 months. The results that they got for us was 2 days. Within 2 days, they had the results. There was no mistaking or prolonging to see what was going on with us. It was 2 days. So those conditions affect the brain. That side of the brain that's affected is the temporal lobe, and it affects the memory. It affects the cognitive function. It affects a lot of things. So unfortunately, those things are affecting me right now. And as I get older, it's getting worse. So I was told to contact my primary family members and let them know so they can get tested, right? Hi, Josette. Hi, Donna. Hi, Sharika. Shanika. See a couple of you on. Hi, babe. Thank you guys for joining. I was told to contact. I was sent a letter from the genetic departments from different areas to contact primary family members and let them know so they can have themselves or their children tested. I can tell you that the response from the family line that this health issue is coming from was not supportive. I was told by one person, oh, I should not bring it up again and do not contact them about this as a brother. And I got pretty much cursed out. That was hard. Because now I'm dealing with this health issue with me and my child and not getting support from family. Not expecting to get that support, but at least I was expect some form of respect with that. I didn't get that. So that was hard for me. And the other siblings on that line, I didn't get any support from them either. They said they didn't want to know, and there was no follow-up from anyone to check, to talk with us and say, how are you guys coping with this ordeal? So we have had to deal with this on our own, besides having friends that are close by helping us to maneuver this emotional turmoil. So it was pretty hard realizing that you don't have that support from family to deal with this person. You pour your heart out to cry and everything, let them know how you're feeling, what's going on with you, not getting their support, or say, oh yeah, they empathize in the conversation, but then there's no follow-up about it after. No one checking in with you about it, or it's affecting you, which it has been affecting me and my child, especially me, greatly. Now, this condition is something that causes a lot of different things. It causes Parkinson's in some persons. It enhances or gives ADHD type of stuff. I was diagnosed with ADHD last month, and I've been getting the whole shebang of it. The memory and everything, like getting hit left, right, and center. So it's not easy to deal with that. It's life-altering, right? There are other conditions that I've been diagnosed with that have changed a lot of things. But thankfully, they are not terminal. So I give God thanks for that. But they're critical. And they're severe. The pain and the discomfort and everything. Hi, Sheena. Hi, Amanda. So it's hard to deal with. All right. So that in a nutshell, right, is where it is right now. So trying to figure out where you are, trying to maneuver all these things going forward, having other conditions such as IBS, so anything stressful triggers those, triggers those things. So there's quite a bit of stuff that's there. So like you're, okay, try walking, try running, try this. I have degenerative osteoarthritis too. So that's the knees and the hip, right? And then I was diagnosed with a heart condition. I had supraventricular overload and tachycardia. And I said, God, the brain is affected. The bones are affected. The blood level is, the blood count is low. I'm at like a 9. I should be like 30 somewhere there. I'm like, okay, God, this is a lot. This is a lot to deal with. There's a whole lot, right? So I'm like, heal me of something. This is just too much. Doctors, I don't like the results. They send me for ultrasound on the heart. They're like, I don't like the results. I don't like it. So they send me in to do some more stuff, and I'm like, God, please heal something, if not everything. If it is your will, let it be done for your glory. If it's not for you to heal me physically, then please provide me with the right support to navigate. Hi, Tracy, to navigate this. He did provide some support. And when I did some more tests on the heart condition was showing that the heart issues are stabilized, but the other things are going on. So I have to be going in very regularly. Our doctor's appointments for the last year, it kind of tapered off in the latter part a bit, but it's picked up again. So we were averaging at least 1 doctor's appointment, 1 to 2 doctor's appointments every week, which was rough because then I can't work. I have to stop working, unfortunately, because doctor's appointments, medical appointments, and all of these stuff, it's overwhelming, right? And if you're working with someone or even working for yourself, which I was doing, you don't have the chance to be online with your client like that, because then you have to be running and then health issues sending you to the washroom or in pain. I had every single day of this year, almost, just maybe a few days. Yeah, I had a few days where it was like not too bad, but almost every single day I had pain. And it was not easy to deal with. Navigating my husband has been awesome. I have 2 amazing kids, and I do have some amazing friends that God put in my life, and those friends have been family. Those are the friends that I've really gotten the support from. God has placed in my life persons I need when I need them, thankfully, because feeling alone, feel like you don't have family, you don't have anyone to support you, you're alone, it's hard. So I'm starting out with this, sharing my testimony, sharing my journey, and I'll be talking more about this as time passes by. Guys, I posted my YouTube link on here, URL. Please go to that page and subscribe. I need to hit 50 subscribers so I can stream live from YouTube. That way I'll be able to bring more focus on different health issues and focus more on dystonia, since many persons are not aware of it and its seriousness. And persons with Parkinson, Huntington, many of these conditions, dystonia is a major part of it. And because there's not early diagnosis, then many persons, they can't navigate or get help, right? So it's not something trivial. It's serious. So crossing a road and getting a seizure in the road, somebody driving, they may not know what's happening and they may bump you. So it can definitely affect your life in more ways than one. All right. So guys, persons around you seem fine. They look fine. Many of them are going through a lot. Sometimes persons cross your mind. Contact them, message them, send them a voice note, something. Or even just say a prayer while you can until you do. Prioritize for the new year. Persons always make new year resolutions going into the new years. My charge to you guys is not to make resolutions, make goals. Sometimes not to make goals. Sometimes when you do these, I mean, you can make goals, but don't focus. Don't let your focus be on those goals and those resolutions, because you're going to be so caught up in these that you forget the simple things in life, that the focus is, we are here to be our brother's keeper. If God wanted one person, he would have made one person. We are put here to be our brother's keeper. Persons around you need you. You need each other. 2026 is not, I don't know what type of year it's going to be. But 2025, when I came into it, I had 8 friends battling terminal cancer. 2 of them is still here, thank God. The others passed. It was not easy dealing with these because the deaths were like 3 days apart. It was hard. But I knew that as soon as I heard, it was my duty to contact these people, get in touch with them, let them know that they are loved. Persons around you, you may think that they know that you love them just by being a sister, a brother, a cousin, a mom, a dad, a uncle, a grandaunt, a grandmother, whatever it is. You think and you take for granted that they know that you love them. Tell them. Tell them. Find the time to connect with your friends and your loved ones. Let them know that you love them. Be there for them. Not just by thought. Especially if you know you have loved ones going through illnesses and stuff. And if they bear their heart to you, it's your responsibility. If you really love them, that is. If you don't really love them, then you go along your merry way. But if you love them, especially if they're ill and going through stuff, contact them, check in with them, see how they are. I've never been at this point in my life before. I've had many challenges, many stuff, been through a lot. Been through a lot. I grew up with poverty. There was some help, but it was not enough. But I did not let that deter me from being a good person, from loving and being this jovial person. This is me. I found that inner me that I've found from a kid, and I've kept that, and that has kept me sane. Do you know what it is like trying to sleep and you're in pain and you can't sleep? You have to sit up for the entire night. My husband is accustomed to seeing me do that many nights, including last night. Having discomfort or pain or whatever, and you can't lay down, you have to sit up to sleep. I've had many times when I had to sit up to sleep. It's not been easy. Walking up the stairs or walking in the house, my knees are crunching and I'm in pain. And I have to be taking one step at a time. Sometimes my daughter is before me or my husband is behind me. Are you going to make it? We probably need to get rid of this house and get something flatter or whatever. People around you, they may seem fine, but many persons around you are going through stuff. This year, let it be a year where that comes in 2026. Connect with persons. Reach out to persons. Let them know you genuinely care. Let them know you love them if you do. Don't take for granted. Because you may get a phone call or you see pop up an obituary or a notice. Oh my God, I can't believe the person is gone. All these messages are popping up on their Facebook. They're not here anymore to feel those love or get those flowers. Be intentional. Many persons are saying a lot of these illnesses are because of COVID. I would say yes and no. No, many persons were collapsing and dying, getting sick and all kind of stuff happening before COVID. One of my husband's very good friends collapsed and died. He was a fitness guru, football, gym, loves the gym. He was like at the gym all the time. He collapsed and died. He was young. I think he was in his 30s, the same day that Madison was born. This was not COVID time. Back in the years, maybe I take us back to the 80s, early 90s. Many of us would eat anything and we'd go about, we find no cancers, no sicknesses. You wouldn't be hearing a lot of stuff. Well, I mean, what I had, it's been going from then before, right? But many of these things have been going on before COVID. It has nothing to do with the foods that we eat. It has to do with the different changes in the atmosphere, the climate. Back then, there wasn't so much carbon monoxide and plants and processing plants and companies out. So there's a lot of toxins in the air. There was not so many cell phones around. So the cell phone towers, there's lots of radiation. So, okay, persons say don't use a microwave or eliminate radiation. Even if you do that, there's so many cell phones, cell towers, and all this radiation and all these toxins in the air. I guarantee you, maybe everyone will at some point have an illness, whether it be critical, whether it be terminal. You're going to have something that affects you big time and vastly. This is not COVID. This was before COVID. It has to do with all the stuff in the air and all that things that surrounds us. So all of us are going to have something. Share your testimonies when you have stuff going on. Our persons are going to see the acts of God in your life and see what God is doing for you. If you don't share what's happening, but then it's gone and you're healed, and what are you going to say? Oh, I was sick, but it's gone. Who knows? Who shared the journey with you? I've been battling with this for a long, long time, doing this. I've been battling to do this, but I've been prompted and I'm like, okay, it's the last day of the year and God pushed me to do this. There's so many illnesses I've been battling for the past 2 years. And every time I'm supposed to do a blood work or go to the doctor, I'm scared. Because something else is going on, something else is added on. 2 Thursdays ago, I went to the doctor for some checks on some stuff, just to check up on some stuff. And my family doctor said to me, "Are you behaving yourself?" And I laughed and I said, "Am I ever?" You know me. It's button change, one to the next, one to the next. When I got home on Thursday night, some friends came to visit and we went to see the lights in and around town. And we got home and we ate some stuff and I started having pains about an hour after we ate. I had pizza. I had 2 small slices. And I had water. It was pepperoni and pineapple pizza and I had water. That was it, right? Went to relax and watch some TV with the family, and then I started having some pains in my stomach. It wasn't intense because I was having some pains from the Tuesday before, and I thought it was a bug that I had gotten. So the pains kept coming and going, and I'd be monitoring it with bismuth tablets, which is something like Pepto-Bismol in tablet form, and acetaminophen, because that's the mildest form of pain relief, right? And I had to be watching the time to see when it's time to take it again, because the pain, as soon as the tablets wear out, the symptoms are picking up, but they never gave me a full break. And it kept coming. And I noticed Tuesday, Wednesday, the pain was getting more and the tablets were not working anymore. The pain was so intense on Thursday night, about 3 a.m., Friday morning. I couldn't sleep. Everybody in the house was sleeping. I had maybe 1 hour of sleep, if so much. And I couldn't sleep. I was pacing. I said, "God, let me puke. Let me poo. Something so I can get a relief." The pain was my entire stomach, all the way under my breastbone and under my rib cage, my diaphragm area. I was in such intense pain, I couldn't breathe well. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was in intense pain. I thought I was literally think I was gonna go. So I was like praying and asking God, please don't take me at it. If you take me, I'm like praying for forgiveness for anything I'm not sure of or whatever and stuff, and didn't want to wake anybody. So I was pacing and I'm like, don't know what to do with myself. Hubby got up the morning, allowed him to go to work. I didn't say anything to him because my friends were here. Our friends were here. So I said, okay, it cooled down a little bit, but the pain was now localizing under my right breastbone, under the right side of my breast, behind my rib. But it was like a heavy, you feel like you can't breathe, you don't know what to do with yourself. You can't sit, you can't stand, you can't lay down. If you lay down, it's way worse. So I said, okay. I said to my friends, I think I need to go to the hospital. Now, who knows me well? No, I don't like hospitals. I'm afraid of needles. I have a big phobia for needles. At that point, I would take an injection. Honestly, the pain was so intense. It was worse than, I think it was worse than labor pain for me. It was really, really bad. Got to the hospital, they sent me put me in for blood work and stuff and sent me to the admissions, registration and admissions. They did the admission ban and put on me. So I did the blood work. I have a app here in Canada where I'm able to see any tests as it's logged, any results as it's logged. It comes in, I get alerts. I was able to see them. So I saw the results and saw that my liver enzymes, when it's at a high, for a normal person, when it's at a high, it's like 50. I was at 500 and something. So I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So, yeah, I alerted my husband after I registered and everything. I let him know that I was at the hospital and everything. Not to worry. Friends were there with me and everything and all of that. So I had to keep updating him and stuff, right? Well, our friends were doing that. The kids were home with some of the friends stayed at the house. The wife stayed at the house and the mother-in-law and the husband went with me. Coincidence, those friends, I met them a few months ago and only to find out that that mother is the sister of one of my classmates throughout high school. Show you how life is. Be good. You don't know who you're gonna meet, where and when, and who is gonna be needed in your life at what point. You don't know. You'll think that you're fine where you are, but you're gonna need some of those same persons. Do not be mean to persons. Do not be cruel or heartless to persons. It's gonna come back to you. So he was there with me at the hospital and I saw the liver enzymes and I started looking at what it could possibly mean. Cirrhosis, liver disease and all. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. But I knew that based on the other research I had done before, with the pain and where it was localized now, it possibly could be gallstones. Now I've had this pain ongoing, like on and off, once a 6 months or whatever. Maybe 3 years now. 3 years now. But I did not know what it was. I thought maybe it was a heart attack at one point. But they didn't last long. But each time it comes back, it lasts longer. This time it's 4 days. So I saw that some of the enzymes were way escalated. So of course, we know what's going to happen. We keep seeing the nurse come and calling patients and stuff. I'm like, okay, here you have a chance to look at the wait time where I am in Canada. You have a chance to look at the wait time for the different hospitals, Emerge and everything. So you know where to go. And if you can't wait for this one, you know where to move to, right? So I'm like watching the wait time and I'm watching and I'm seeing people being calm. Okay. Finally, the nurse came to get me. When she came, she had a hospital gown in her hand. So I said to my friend beside me, I'm like, Jesus Christ, she has a gown. He's like, crap. Okay. So they took me to the adult critical care unit of the Emerge floor. Bed and everything. Right away, they said, we're going to have to check my vitals again because it was really high when I came in. And I said to her, I'm trying to breathe and all that. She says, yeah, pain will cause that. I'm like, oh God, I don't have blood pressure problem, but no, my pressure is high. Urinalysis abnormal. The blood work abnormal. Everything was like crazy. So nurse came in and said, we have to put an IV on you, because the doctor is worried about your heart rate. It's too high. Heart rate was 124. And I could feel the heart like fluttering in my chest, which like, Jesus Christ. Okay. Me and you just worked through this already, Jesus, this year about the heart, like healing me of the heart condition and all of that. So dealing with this now, I'm like, okay. So I'm in the hospital and I'm scared, but I'm trying to calm myself down. They came. I don't like needles, but I'm braving it, right? I just had the blood work and it was like stinging. It was a V that was left in my hand. So I know they used probably the biggest needle. And I told the woman, use the smallest one because I'm scared. I'm sure she was the biggest one. Anyway, they started pumping medication into the IV. Like the drip is connected, the IV fluids is connected, another medication bag is connected, and immediately where the IV port is, they're pumping in different stuff based on my vitals and the blood work results and everything. They started putting stuff in. I felt nauseous. I felt out of it. I was tired. I was so exhausted. I was weak. And I sent a message to the church. I'm going to send it to the pastor and ask them to just rally some prayers for me, please. And they were on it. Our friend that went with me didn't eat. No tea, no nothing in the morning. As soon as he heard I need to go to the hospital, he's like, okay, let's go. He went to the bathroom, brushed his teeth, washed his face and everything, and we were out of there. I went in my pajamas because I figured I was going to be there a bit. Luckily, I did. Because they put me in gown and everything, and I was scared. I've never been admitted to the hospital besides when I gave birth, those 2 times. So the doctor came and he spoke to me and he pressed my stomach, and oh my God, when he pressed on that spot, I saw Moses, Abraham, Joseph, everybody that died in the Bible tomb. I saw a whole cemetery, believe me. And if the graves were in the same place and wherever they were, I moved to all the different graves. I was like, yeah, out of it. Really, like, it was so horrible. So they started to give me stuff, put me in for ultrasound and all of that stuff. So now they said that they checked me if there was any infection. From the gallbladder, there wasn't any, but there are gallstones, and now I have to get the gallbladder removed. So I'm waiting on the surgery date. I have a consultation with the surgeon for it. So with all the different underlying stuff and all the different stuff going on, it's quite a bit. So now I have to pace myself. I can't do too much. If I'm too active, I feel the pain. I can't eat certain foods. I can't do certain things. It was rough seeing myself in that position in a bed, because then I'm realizing I'm in a bed. I'm in a hospital bed. But I heard the persons beside me, one with cancer, like different conditions, terminal stuff around me where I was. Those are the person that was in my area where I was. So when I said critical care unit, I mean critical care unit. So that's the condition I was in, based on the blood work and the pains and everything. So it's no joke. All right, so let me reel us in a bit, sharing this with you guys. Many of you know me. And what you could have heard is that my husband or my kids posted that I'm no longer here. I'm gone. I'm still here, thank God. It could have been anything, could have gone sideways. Because the doctor was in fear that a gallstone had moved towards the liver. And of course, you're looking at some more serious issues there. Thankfully, the stuff that they gave me seemed like that one would have passed. Now I'm waiting on surgery. So I have to go in and for them to assess whatever, right? But it's not a simple thing when you have a lot of different issues, one behind the other, going on. And you're taken for granted. You're there for many persons. I'm not speaking for me per se, but I'm using everybody here and other persons right now as an example. You're there for many persons. And when they need help or need somebody just to check in or just to give a word of encouragement or just to say hi, just a connection, you're there. You're there when they need it. And when you need it, you don't find that. It could be your family. Could be those closest to you. Let me assure you that those persons, even if they don't show up, God is going to provide you. If you believe enough when you pray, He's going to provide you with persons who are going to be there for you and do stuff that you least expect that those persons are going to do, even though those are not the ones that you'd have preferred to be the ones who have been doing it. You do appreciate the ones who are doing it, right? But then the ones who are family or closest, you'd have expected them to check in because, they knew that you were in the hospital, or they knew that your child was in the hospital, or they knew that you're sick, or they knew that you're probably not working for a bit, or all of this stuff, these challenges going on. But they're not the ones who check in. They're not the ones who show they care. But God is going to provide you with the persons you need. When you need them, He's going to provide them. When I got home from the hospital, And I contacted the same pastor from the church I'm at the following morning to let him know the update, the summary of what happened, and that I'm home. He said to me, okay, do you guys need food? Anything you guys need, just let us know. And he asked, I said, okay, thank you. And he asked me who is going to be home, at what point of the day would be a good time. I said to him, the entire household is home for the entire day. Less than 10 minutes. I'm not joking. The doorbell rang. And he showed up. And he had this huge hotel type aluminum container that they put, the warmers that they put food in. He had one of those full of food. There was chili, there was lasagna, there was shepherd's pie. Another friend that I just met, she's Jamaican too, but she's been in Canada many, many years. Her sons and my daughter, my youngest, became best friends. He's in grade 2. One is in grade 2, one is in grade 1. She's in grade 5, and she and them, they became very close friends, because when she was having the episodes, seizures and everything, those young kids were the kids that were her friends, who were there for her most times. She had other friends in between, right? But that mom that I met for those kids, I met her maybe in October, I think. When she heard, she got the feeling to contact me the day when I was in the hospital, but she was busy and it slipped her. When she spoke with me on the day I was home from the hospital, she said to me, okay, what do you want? Chicken or vegetable soup? I said, I don't know. She said, okay, you need protein, whatever. So I'm going to do chicken soup. 2 hours. She was here at the house with a huge pot of chicken soup that everybody could eat from, and the rest of it could last me a week. Because I have to eat bland foods, and she knew exactly how to make it. I am here looking at how I'm going to do some things, because Glenn has work. He has other responsibilities that he has to do to take care of the family, because everything is on him right now, because I wouldn't say special needs in that form, but special needs in a form where I have to be getting support. So even though I look bright and I sound bright, I'm having pains right now, believe it or not. And I'm all curled up in a ball. But I try not to let it overwhelm me. When I get overwhelmed sometimes, I'll break and I'll cry for a bit. I have a few persons on here who are like, they check in. As long as they know one thing, they check in. They're on it. And I appreciate you guys so, so much. I love you guys so, so much. Jacqueline Brown, hope you, girl, I love you. Love you so, so much. Kadeen, I'm not going to start calling names, because if I do, I may get in trouble. But some of these persons have been like toe to toe without me even telling some of them anything going on, I come up in their spirit. And they message and they call. One person, okay, what's your account number? And I'm like, what? Don't worry about it, man. I need whatever to do, whatever. And I'm like, okay. And I'm seeing this come, I'm like, holy Jesus. And that's how it has been going with different persons coming up for different needs. Food, for this, for that. I've never been in that situation before, where I'm so vulnerable. But you know what? That vulnerability shows me who people really are. Their real intentions towards you. Some persons say, okay, we're doing this, we're going here, whatever. So you can do this, you can't. But they don't know what your finances are like. They don't know what your health is like. They don't know what the challenges around you are like. But do they ask you that first? Persons will call you and say, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. And I remember that you know this person, or you know that person, or you can do this, or you can. You haven't spoken to them in a while. And I'm guilty of that once or twice, not often. But they don't check in with you first to see how you really are, what's going on. But right away, they remember that they can benefit something or gain something. Even if they do that once and you say, okay, fine, my friend, I've spoken to them in a while, they'll understand. At least check in back after that. When they're done doing whatever they're doing for you, or if they can't even do it, check in with them to see how they are. If they weren't alive, you couldn't call them for that favor. You couldn't ask them for that help, or even for that directive. So check in with them after to see how they are. There's this friend I have from childhood days I haven't heard from in a long, long time. The friend reached out to me year before last, because the friend saw the business I'm in. I was doing insurance investments and stuff. And the friend messaged, and I'm like, okay. And based on the message or the format of that message, I'm familiar with that type of message from different persons in the same field when they're trying to recruit you. And I'm like, okay. And the person said, so how is Glenna and the kids? And before the person could finish that sentence, like right behind that sentence, like came, that's not what I'm really asking you about though. And they went straight to business. No, this is that childhood friend, somebody I was very, very close to. How am I supposed to react to that person? Somebody's trying to call me. Oh, I can't answer you now, Donna. I can't answer you now, Donna. Yeah. How are you supposed to react to that now? You're asking me how my husband and my kids are, but in the same breath you're saying, oh, that's not what I really called about. You have not spoken to this person in years. Really? At least pretend that you really called about that. And I got really defensive after that. And the conversation, I'm like, okay, I realize what you're about. And I just basically, conversation came down to it, and they're like, tried to call and I didn't answer. And they're like, let us talk so it doesn't end this way. Guys, please do not let this be you. Your persons that you have in your life that love you or care, let them know that you care or love them too if you do. Don't wait until an appointed time when they're gone and then you're posting on the page or missed you this. If you were in contact and stuff, then yeah, you're fine. And people are still gonna do that. You can't stop people. But value the people around you. You're coming on to 2026. You're alive. You made it through 2025. Well, there are a few hours left in 2025. There's still a few hours left in 2025. Don't let the goals and the New Year's resolutions and all of this consume you, that you forget to be a human first. That's what you're put here to be first, you know. You are put here on this earth to be a human first, to be your brother's keeper first. Your family and your loved ones, the family doesn't necessarily have to be biological. Sometimes God put people in your life as family, and those are not your biological persons. Let persons know you love them, you care. Hug somebody longer. Message somebody. Send a voice note. Send a message. Something. And if somebody has been trying to connect with you and you've been so busy and they keep doing it. I've had persons I've done and they're busy. I'm going to stop. When you have time to communicate or connect with me, I find you can do it. Family and friends have done it, especially family. Yep. And by the wayside, I've had that many times. And I've had more connections with persons who are not biologically related. I've had times when I felt this year, there are times when persons are around you, not counting my immediate family, but I was so alone and so lonely. Because who I expected to connect, like family or friends, like I tried to reach out or expected, I'm going through so much to at least one message or something, you don't get that. It hurts. A close friend of mine died this year, and there was nobody or nothing there. Her mom died less than 2 weeks before her. The resources were already stretched to nothing. I had to start a GoFundMe page for them to do an autopsy and for us to get a cremation done and a small service. Thank you for the persons on here who donated to it and other persons who are not on here and will come on to read or listen. Because guess what? She was an amazing sister to me for many years when I had no one. I lived at my mother's house, but I had no one. Many persons feel alone and lonely. And many persons can't manage it with all the health issues and everything. Maybe the average person probably have committed suicide. Do you know how hard it is when that part of your brain, well, it's for me, being affected so bad that you can't remember sometimes simple things such as your loved one's name? Do you have any, and I'm being very vulnerable right now. Do you know how hard it is? You're trying to say something and your words are jumbled? Do you know how hard it is to be looking at a tree and trying to talk about the tree, but somewhere in hindsight, there may be a brown board or something, and instead of saying the tree, you probably will end up saying brie, meaning the brown and the tree. Or you refer to the tree as something else, as the board. Do you guys have any idea what that is like? And then people who don't know what's happening, if you're out in the public, you have to be explaining to persons. Or you have to try to not talk to people too much, because when you least expect it, you're jumbling words and you're saying stuff, or you're not remembering somebody very close to your name. I know Jackie very, very well from I was a child, or I was a baby, maybe 1, 2 years old, thereabouts, but I was young. But I can tell you, I may look at her picture and I know her and I know who she is and I don't remember her name. It has happened with several persons for me. It has happened for me many times this year. Because that part of my brain is so deeply affected with so many different things. So many ailments and stuff going on. Do you know how hard that is? How devastating it is for me? Do you know how hard it is to bear your heart out, all of this out to people that you deeply love, family, and they don't even check in once to call your message and say, how are you coping? How is this? No. Do you know? Can you relate? But many of you would not know this, would you, if I don't come now and tell you this? If I'm not being vulnerable now. There are other persons around you who have some vulnerable stuff and deep stuff going on, and they don't know how to explain it. They don't know how to share it because they're ashamed, they're humiliated, they're embarrassed. They don't want to be judged. They don't want people to use it against them. Many of these people don't make it, they commit suicide because they can't cope with all of this. They can't cope with being shoved into a corner or being neglected or being abandoned or being judged. Many persons, Robin Williams, there are so many persons who committed suicide. People who have money. People who are well known. And just a kind word, a thought. Don't let 2026 be that year for you and the loved ones around you feeling that way. Sometimes Facebook reminds us. I'm trying to keep my thoughts. If you see me blank out sometimes, I'm forgetting what I'm going to say and I'm trying to get it back if you see that happening. Facebook reminds us persons' birthdays. Sometimes you remember, sometimes you don't, and I'm so grateful that it does, because a lot of these people are very dear to me, and I usually remember everybody's birthday, phone numbers and everything years back. Long-term memory, it's fine. Short-term, it's not fine. And that hurts to the core for me because I'm misunderstood sometimes. Many persons misunderstand me sometimes, and it hurts because the responses I get. It took a while for my husband and my daughters to start understanding what was going on with me. And I got so frustrated because they'll be getting upset with me because I'm not saying whatever and I'm missing this and I don't remember. And I'll tell you something now and I come back and tell you again tomorrow. That's what's happening right now. It's hard. It's devastating. It's devastating. Sometimes the words fail and all you have are tears. And all you can do is talk to God. That's all you have sometimes. And if God did not put the persons in my life that are there actively present right now, and actively present can be that have few people on here right now that like Jesus. The amount of reels they send me and the amount of reels I send them, I can tell you half of them sometimes I don't watch. I probably watch the last one, but then sometimes I go back and watch. But if I find something funny in the moment, whatever, I might share it. But most of my reels are like pertaining to like health issues and some stuff like it's their reels and their jokes, but most times it's what's going on. But let persons know you're present. Love on the persons that matter to you. Let them know you appreciate them. Last week, I think I made a post on Facebook because I'm unable to get to everybody. I think it was Facebook or WhatsApp, one of them, saying, I think it was WhatsApp. I'm not able to get to everybody on there, but the people who are on there, who I message once a week, once a month, once whatever, they know that I love them and I'm there. Let people know how much they mean to you. Be a human first. Don't let your professional life consume you so much that the persons who are supposed to matter and who should know that you love them fall by the wayside. Don't let persons feel like they're alone. Sorry. Don't let persons feel like they're alone and they're going through life by themselves. Don't. It's hard. It's devastating. There are so many things I'm going to start addressing, but I need you guys to go to that YouTube URL and subscribe to it. I need to hit 50 subscribers so I can start streaming from YouTube, because you know after a while these videos are gonna be removed from Facebook, like I think like 90, 60 days or something, so I can keep them on there. So I can start addressing different topics, because I'm giving you like a summary and a synopsis of a lot of things in one right now, and I'm being very sorry. Yeah, I already explained to you what's going on. Very vulnerable, right? So I want to start addressing different topics, different illnesses that I have and that I know of persons that have, that I'm very familiar with, and share stuff. So persons who have them, they know that they're not alone, and other persons understand. And for persons who don't have it, they can relate to other persons. If they see the symptoms or they can identify some stuff, they're able to help them or have an inside knowledge of some stuff. I'm going to be talking about those in the summer. I'll do my gardening stuff. I'll be talking about marriage and stuff. So different topics, but I'll be focusing more on illnesses and stuff. Nobody, and I mean not one person, is immune to getting an illness or being sick. I always hear this in the older days. If you want to know who people really are, or their true intentions towards you, there are 3 things that really show these things: being sick, a death, or a funeral, or a death, being sick, or a wedding. Yeah, those 3 things. They really show people's true intentions and feelings towards you. We'll talk some more, guys. A blessed 2026 when it comes. Please be a good human first. Be intentional about letting persons know you care about them or you love them. Be intentional. Don't let your busy thoroughfares of life consume you, whether it be school or work or your business. Don't let it consume you so much that you're, oh God, I remember you, but I was so busy, Lord Jesus, I'm busy with this. Yeah, you're busy with all of that, but when you die, what happens? Persons will have to find the time to attend to your family and bury you, don't it? Or be there for your loved ones that you left behind, right? They'll have to find the time even if they're very busy. So while you're still here on the face of this earth, while you're still here, be intentional. Do not let the goals and the resolutions and the school and the business and everything consume you so much that your loved ones fall through the cracks or by the wayside. Okay. Love you guys. We'll connect soon. Go to the URL, please, and subscribe and get others to subscribe. We'll connect somewhere soon. Take care.